Hi, I'm Stacey Stark. Who are you?
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm Kay Banks.
Is that your real name?
Fuck you.
Welcome to the Where's My Hat podcast. It's the first one, so I've never listened to it. But I'm sure if I did, I would like it.
Seen AI art?
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't have any opinions at this moment.
Fucking lame.
What about you?
I think it's really cool. I was thinking about the other day.
Sorry, what?
I was thinking about how Stacey Stark doesn't care about what I say, and how AI, if it fully becomes sentient, would it have their own games and art of their own design?
Oh, like that they do on their own?
Right. Because for us to be considered conscious, we do our own thing. We make art, we make games to become more competitive and be better at our own conscience.
Well, can I just say something while we're talking?
Yeah, sure.
I think
it's kind of what we do here. It's a podcast.
I think that we are AI.
You think we're AI?
I do. I don't think that any of this is real, like what we think it is. I think that everything built around us, everything that we feel, I think that it's all computerized. And some of the smartest people in the world agree. There's a 0.0 billion% chance that we are what we think we are, and we're actually AI.
Well, we can't disprove it.
We can't. Well, we could if we focused enough on whether or not there's glitches.
Okay. Have you seen YouTube glitches, YouTube videos of glitches of in the Matrix, so to speak?
No, I've seen real life glitches.
You've seen real life glitches?
Yeah.
Were you on anything?
No.
Okay. Like what?
Okay, so for example, it's so hard to explain, but it's just stuff with lighting, how lighting hits certain things. The other day when I was door dashing, there was light coming up on the bottom of these leaves on the trees. And I was watching it, and it was just the way that it was hitting it didn't make sense. It kind of looked like when you're in a swimming pool, but it was just flashes. And I looked around, and there was nothing that was actually doing that. It was just...
They were leaves?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't have a good way to explain that. I'll keep an eye out, though, so the next time we record, I'll have something more concrete.
Okay.
But I do believe, in fact, that we are a simulation. We are not real.
Well, that's fucking nuts.
And part of the reason that I believe is because that would be so much better.
Why do you think it would be better? If anything, I would personally think, in my opinion, it would be worse.
Why?
Because then all the catastrophe that has happened is by design. And not by random chance.
Right. No, because we are meant to figure out how to fix everything. Okay, so this
sucks.
This is the theory. You've seen The Matrix.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all fucked up. Everything is destroyed. And these people are living in this simulation where they don't know what the real world is like. They have a normal life the way that we do.
For those who don't understand, have never seen The Matrix, let Stacey Stark explain. That's what she's explaining right now.
And I'm very drunk.
You're very drunk?
And I've only seen it one time.
You've only seen it one time?
Yeah, I've seen the first 2.5, and the third one I was really high, and then I was like, oh my god, this is real.
The first one is the best, and then after that they all suck. But I've seen, like
Probably.
me personally, I've seen The Matrix. Like, I could probably quote it word for word, action by action. I can't like fly in the air, but I could definitely like do all the moves and everything else. I loved The Matrix. It was 98 when it came out, so I was 9, and I like loved Keanu Reeves after that.
Do you want to do some of that right now?
No.
That's what I thought. No, I just think that we're like everything has already been destroyed. We're set on this path to try to figure out how to stop it and like how to make things better so that the people that are real can learn from us.
So then do you have a theory on what had happened for us to be in a matrix currently?
Everything that's already happening to us.
So currently,
Yes.
What's happening is what we have to learn from. So like all the years of history that came before for the history of man, we had to go through all of it, understand it, uncover it, just so we can understand what's happening now. Like we have so much history and we have so much documented history.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that happened just for the now, so we can understand the now and be able to change it, alter it, or make it better.
Yes. And every second, we might not actually exist. Like 5 seconds from now, I might exist, but I might not already. But in 5 seconds from now, I might just be remembering that I existed before.
Do you believe in the multiverse theory?
Yes. Explain it.
Oh, for those who don't know what the multiverse theory is, the idea is that there are alternate universes where we live and we do alternate things. Like right now, Stacey thinks I'm a lesbian in this universe, but in a different multiverse or different universe, she thinks I'm as straight as can be and cute as a button. So that's the idea of a multiverse. There's an example.
That would never happen.
I believe it. Wait,
because if you were straight,
there's an infinite amount of multiverses in the history of multiverses, and there's not one where I'm straight.
No, what I'm saying is, if there was a universe where you were straight, I would not know you. I would not notice you. You would not exist in my mind.
So all straight women don't exist in your mind?
Pretty much.
Oh, that's fucked up. What about men? Do men exist in your mind?
For the most part, no.
I get that.
They exist. I know that they're there, but...
Would you ever live on an Amazonian island?
You've asked me this before.
Well, and not on a podcast.
No, you haven't on a podcast, but I'm just like trying to think back to what I said then so I don't contradict myself.
Who cares if you contradict yourself?
That's,
I'm going to point
right.
it out. You know what I mean?
Too
and then
thoughtful. You probably don't even remember. That was so long ago. Like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, you're right. I would forget.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what happened yesterday.
I think what I said was no.
You wouldn't live on one.
Because I hate bugs.
Oh, yeah. You don't like bugs?
Nature.
Do you think there's a multiverse where you like bugs and nature?
Sure. Okay. I take it back. I am fascinated by bugs and nature. I just don't want to be in it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You look like a bug person. Like you'd be interested in categorizing bugs, like butterflies and stuff, like in The Silence of the Lambs.
I think in another... I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen Silence of the Lambs?
No, so I don't know how that's related.
You're like prime ego, like, person of lesbian culture is in the movie, Jodie Foster.
I know she did the movie Panic Room with Kristen Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's a good time to broach that?
Talk about my name already?
Yeah.
This is the first podcast.
I think that people need to know.
Why do people need to know my real name? It's too late. They already know.
Yeah.
I
don't think we have to say anything else.
For those of you that don't understand what's going on, K Banks is a stage name. My real name is Stacey Stark.
That's not true. That's my name.
Oh, sorry. I'm confused. My real name is actually Kristen J. Stewart, which is no different from the famous actress Kristen Stewart, whose middle initial is also J.
Is it really?
It is.
What does your J stand for?
Jagoff.
That's not true.
It's not, but it's none of your concern.
What does the other Kristen Stewart's J stand for?
James. I know, it's fucked up. Mine is better. That you're not going to know.
I know that like you didn't answer either of those correctly, but
Hers middle name is actually James.
That
It's
can't possibly be true.
Jymes instead of an A. Which doesn't work, but that's her middle name. That's just the thing. I looked it up one day. She's also a year older than me.
Can I guess? If I guess your middle name, will you tell me if I'm right?
No.
Is it Jeanette?
Yes.
Is it?
No. It's fucking lame.
Is it Jean?
Yes.
It is?
No.
I don't know because I don't know it, and I don't know if you're telling the truth or not.
That's fine. You don't have to know.
Is it Julie?
No.
That's my little sister's name.
Your little sister's name is Julie?
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful name.
Hey, speaking of, she is like a dog walker and a dog sitter.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know how Joan Rivers is dead?
Yeah.
Sometimes my little sister takes care of Joan Rivers' dogs that are still alive, even though Joan Rivers is dead.
Where's she live, your sister?
New Jersey.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Who takes care of Joan? Who is the owner of Joan Rivers' dogs now?
Joan Rivers' assistant.
No kidding.
No kidding.
How amazing.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah. Have you watched Joan Rivers stand up?
Not enough. Not enough to like know it. I couldn't quote her.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
I am so drunk right now.
Are you really?
I really am.
I'm jealous.
It's a good thing we didn't do 2 shots, just one.
We'll do one other one later.
Later.
Yeah.
Much later.
How much later are we planning to do this? How long have we been doing this for?
I don't know.
I'm so scared to check.
I just mean like much later based on how I feel, not like time wise.
Oh, okay. There's no time on this. I just realized.
That's all right. We haven't been going very long, trust me.
We didn't even check, to be honest.
And I feel like we sound really unnatural, and hopefully that'll change. I feel like I sound really unnatural, but I'm really drunk.
I think I always sound unnatural, so.
I think you always sound the same.
Oh. Do you know who's your favorite comic?
Tig Notaro.
Who's your top 3? Because you look like Tig Notaro, so that's not a surprise.
Right now, off the top of my head, my top 3.
Top 3.
Can I say my top 4?
I suppose.
All right. Sarah Silverman, Tig Notaro, Mae Martin, and John Mulaney. Top 4.
Are those in order or no?
No.
Okay. Cool.
What are yours?
Yeah, thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I forget to do that a lot.
Oh, I know. I've noticed. My favorite top 3, top 4, top 5.
Whatever you feel like you need to express.
Okay.
It can even be 6 or 7. I don't care.
I have a top 10. I have actually a top 20. But top 3 would probably be Maria Bamford, Norm Macdonald, and probably John Mulaney.
What was the second one?
Norm Macdonald.
Norm
Macdonald.
I don't know that guy.
He was a cast member on SNL, and he's just a really brilliant stand-up. He died recently, like last year in September. But
were you sad about it?
I was very sad about it.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
It happens. We all pass on eventually. Comedy, am I right?
I'm not gonna die.
You're never gonna die?
Hey, that brings me to this stuff that's like written down.
Oh, our editor, we didn't mention, a wonderful editor. His name is Brandon Eifred, and he has set up Equip Music that we should plug and let you guys know that If you ever need jingles or anything produced, give him a jingle and he will get you started. Anyways, he wrote down some questions that we should ask each other if we run out of things to talk about. And apparently, Stacey has run out of things to talk about.
No, I didn't run out of things to talk about. I just knew that like the last thing we said was related to one of the things that he wrote.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead. Ask the question.
All right. We'll work from bottom up because that's the part that reminded me.
We have to play Fuck, Marry, Kill?
Yes.
God damn it. All right,
all
but then
right.
I have an alternate question. Before we get on to the Fuck, Marry, Kill and to this other question. Are you aware of serial killers?
Am I aware of serial killers? Is that your question?
Yeah. Do you know the history? Do you know specific serial killers and whatnot?
I know a little bit about several serial killers.
All right. Are you a fan of serial killer documentaries?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
You
All
could
right.
have said, "Are you a fan of serial killers?" and I would have said yes.
That sounds creepy when people say that.
It does, but they'll understand.
Do you want to know something really fucked up?
What?
My favorite time to masturbate is during a serial killer scenario. Or not a scenario, a serial killer like documentary. Because it's like I'm drowning it out. I'm thinking about something else that doesn't have to deal with serial killing. It's the perfect time. Go ahead.
You know what's fucked up?
What? What I just said?
Anytime when like I hear about like someone being murdered, whenever they say there was like no evidence that they were raped, I'm like, well, what the fuck then?
You're like disappointed.
Yeah. I'm like, well, why'd you do it then? If you're not, you know.
You're not leaving your trademark. I'm a little upset. Yeah, I get that. All right, so to the question.
Okay, would you live forever if you could?
No,
Why not?
sounds boring.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't want to like live through the same thing over and over again, and it would end up being just the same pattern over and over again.
So follow-up question. My own follow-up question.
Okay.
Not written down.
By Brandon Eifred, producer and musical genius that is of Equip Studios. Go ahead.
I feel like you plugged him enough, but
I don't want to underestimate how amazing of a producer he is and what he could do for anybody listening. Go ahead.
and like so good looking in case like
Oh yeah, he's
You're
amazingly
interested in that.
good looking.
yeah. I just have to say that even though I'm a lesbian, I just need to let everyone know.
Yeah, definitely. And he's
Just in
doing
case.
this out of the kindness of his heart for us. And I'm the mother of his child, so it really helps.
Even though you're fucking gay.
I'm what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Let's move on.
Back to the question.
What's the question?
You had a follow-up question to why
Oh
would I
yeah,
wanna live
what do
forever?
you think happens after you die?
I don't care.
Really?
Nope.
So you don't want to live forever because that'd be too boring.
Right.
And then you just don't care what happens.
Right.
That
Does that sound you seem frustrated about
that
that.
just does not sit well with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have theories and like I
So-
have like an object in mind of a higher power of some sort. But like I don't care. Like whatever has to happen to what my soul is what has to happen. Like I'm just going to live my best life and live the best life that I have currently. You do look drunk.
I'm
And
so drunk.
just do you need water? or
Not
anything?
yet.
Okay. We also have Cherry Coke Zero if you want it.
What were you saying?
Anyway, sorry. I have ADD. It's terrible.
That's
So
all right.
I don't care. Like I just don't care. Like I think like everything is recycled for the most part in life.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like parts of me will be recycled for other parts of life.
Okay.
So like part of my soul might go to a dog, another part of my soul will go to a handful of worms or whatever. But ultimately, I could care less.
Okay.
What about you?
Yes and no. I feel similarly, but I also really care.
You really care?
Yeah. Okay, so what was the first question?
How
Would
long do
you-
you want to live for?
Would you live forever if you could? Yeah, 100%.
Why would you?
Okay. Because I am obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's a really good show.
And if I could be Angel, I would.
I did love fucking Angel.
And I would just live forever and like
I
drink
love
pig's blood or whatever.
I love Spike more.
I love Spike more too.
Then why do you like Angel so much?
It just was the first example that came to mind. They focused so much on Angel. They made like a whole other series about him.
They did.
But no, I would be Spike. More.
I would be too.
I would be him more, but I would like be myself. I wouldn't be him. But I would be a lot more similar to him.
Me too.
Because he has I think he has more flaws.
Yes.
And that's
He's more of a character versus Angel's. Like he's a character and he has character-driven qualities to him. But Spike was just more, I don't know, just more interesting. Just in general.
He's my favorite character. I just love him so much. Well, also Willow.
I was about to say, Willow's not your favorite character. She's a redheaded lesbian.
It's like a tie. Is that fair?
You are Willow without the like quirkiness.
God, I wish I was as good of a witch as Willow.
Have you ever experimented with Wiccantry?
Wiccantry. I don't think that's a word.
It's not. I made it up. It's my own podcast. I do whatever the fuck I want.
I have. I was actually in a witch coven when I was in college.
Were you really?
Okay, so can I tell you about what had happened?
Please.
Okay. All right, so I had these friends.
Okay.
And they were a coven.
Okay.
Nikki, the girl I lost my virginity to, my friend May, Ronnie, a gay black man.
Okay.
I think it was just those three.
Okay.
They were a witch coven. And they were very interesting, very fun to be around. And then they would like do things and they would be like, you need to leave now because you don't know anything about what we're doing. And if you want to be a part of this, then you need to start researching. And so I did.
Uh-huh.
And so then they let me start being a part of it.
Uh-huh. And
they were doing it all wrong. Because like the number one rule is like, don't invite anything bad in. And that's all they were doing.
Oh, I have a story to tell you.
Okay.
So I was also in a coven when I was in high school, not in college, because I'm too dumb for college. And like there was 4 of us. There was 5 of us, but it had to be in odd numbers. So it had to be 3 or 5 according to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we all had like different, like, it was like Captain Planet. Like one had the zodiac sign of air. The other had zodiac sign of fire and water, which was me. And I think that was part of it. Like the rest of them were like air, fire, water. And we did a seance at my friend's house because she was freaking out about how like her house felt like it was haunted. Her dogs would bark. Her dogs would only bark when people were around, but dogs were barking around this time. So we were like, okay, let's just do a seance. So my one friend was like out of it. She didn't believe in it. She was a very strong Catholic woman in high school. So like a Catholic girl. So she was like, I'm just going to have a knife in case anything goes wrong. So we did a little fucking seance in the little bathroom with the red lighting, and we had a string for a pentagram and stuff. And we all held hands, and we all were like, hey, if there's anyone in here, we need to find out. Can someone be here right now? So I, being the prankster that I am, was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking abuse this shit. So I decided I'm going to pretend like I'm possessed, right? Oh, yeah, this is fucking great. So,
I'm sorry, it's just my facial expressions. It's all your voice.
I'm reading it. I'm reading your facial expressions and like getting hyped. Anyways,
okay.
So like I would pretend like I'm being possessed and everyone would be fucking freaking out. I would like go limp kind of. You know how you can just drop your shoulders and like not hold on as tight and shit? Yeah. I would do that. And they're like, is there a ghost with us right now? And I'd be like, yeah. And like they would be like, oh my god, the girl that didn't want anything to do with the seance was like ready to fucking stab me at any time. And I was like, and they were like asking me questions like, what is your name? And I was like, John Bathers. Oh my god, John Bathers, what are you doing here? It's like, I killed my family And they're like, oh my fucking Christ, and everything else. So they all freaked out, let go, lights turned on, candles went out, pentagram got, mixed around. Things were scary. And I was fucking around this entire time. So we ended up talking about it. They're like, what? Do you remember anything? I was like, no. They're like, do you know who John Bathers is? I was like, yeah, he seems like a friendly guy. And like, they would ask me questions like that. And so we ended up looking it up because Google was available when I was in high school. And there was a John Bathers, and he did kill his whole family. True fucking story.
What?
Real shit.
But you didn't know about that before you did all that.
Nope.
Okay. Can I tell you my thoughts?
Tell me your thoughts.
At first, I thought you were a fucking asshole. Because who would do that type of thing? A sociopath. Like you.
Whatever, you're a fucking psychopath.
Whatever.
Anyways.
But now, I think that guy was actually working through you, even though you didn't know.
Possibly.
It had to have been. Because if you didn't know about that, and that happened...
Or we live in a matrix, like you said.
I can't argue with that.
You almost hit my cat. Poor
I
kitty
did
kitty.
not almost hit your cat.
I
You're
told
way
you
too
not-
protective of your cat. I touched my knee.
She freaked out. She was sniffing your knee.
That's because that's what cats do.
Not this kitty cat.
That's what cats do.
She's pretty chill.
Well, that must just... You're just judging me and you're overprotective of your cat. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that actually happened. So, and then we were in a coven. We did different things. We had the theory that anything that you wanted to bring into your life, something in the exact opposite would happen in threefold.
So like if you did like a spell or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to invite anything unwelcoming in. We wanted to keep it positive and all that wonderful stuff.
Right. And that's exactly the opposite of what my friends were doing.
Well, fuck them.
They were keeping demons in jars.
Stop.
No, I won't stop. That was true.
Oh my goodness. Do
Or
they
like
know?
if you-
Do they knew the names of the demons?
Yes, they did.
Did they say the names of the demons?
I don't remember them.
Well,
but
don't
yeah.
say the names of the demons in my house. That's not going to be a welcome here.
Well, I won't ever do that then.
All right, thank
But
you.
I don't know any demon names. Balthazar.
You fucking dick.
I don't even know if that's a real one. I just said the
I
first
think
thing
it's
that
like
came to
that. You know,
mind.
my first thing I thought was Bartholomew. Bartholomew.
Bartholomew?
Yes, thank you.
I think that's just a regular name.
It is, but it should be a demon name. It's a fucking weird name.
Yeah, it should be.
Anyways.
What is this podcast about?
Dude, this is a rough draft podcast.
This is fun.
Is it?
I hope that other people like it as much as I do.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm not sounding like my normal self, but maybe I am. I'm really drunk.
Yeah, you need to work on that.
On what?
We need to be a controllable level of drunk.
Not like as drunk as I am right now?
Yeah, if you think you're really drunk and I see you and you're really drunk, we need to like level that out for future podcasts.
Do you think I'm really drunk?
Yeah, because you're like one eyelid will close before your other eyelid. That's like a telltale sign of being drunk.
Oh, is this one?
Yeah, you know. All right, cool. So,
Okay.
at least there's a record of what you're saying while you're drunk.
That's always fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Should we move on to what the follow-up question was? Oh, wait, no. I want to tell you something else first. No, I don't. I'll save that for next time because it's
I'll
too much
fucking
of a thing.
say it. Might as well.
Okay. Well, so like what you were saying about afterlife,
Yeah.
I know what I believe about afterlife because I've experienced it.
Oh, yeah. You got cut up by a box cutter. Was it a box cutter?
No, that's not part of it.
You didn't experience afterlife when you got your neck cut up?
No, I didn't die.
Really?
Yeah. I'm still here.
I know, but some people
That was
die and
this
then come back.
lifetime. I have other lifetimes.
You remember different lifetimes.
I remember one different lifetime.
Okay, tell me about the different lifetime.
Okay. This is intense.
I mean, this is a podcast. We have to entertain the masses here.
That's true. I always feel like a crazy person, and I don't like usually tell people this unless I'm super comfortable, and I don't know who's going to be listening and be like, oh, okay, this person is making this up. Because, like, I'm not making it up.
Well, you're a redhead. You're automatically assumed to be crazy.
I'm not a redhead.
You're not a redhead?
I'm not a redhead. We've had this conversation.
We have not had this conversation.
And I don't dye my hair either, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
We have never referenced the fact that you're a redhead.
Like you have, though.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
But we've never, like, talked about it.
Not on a podcast, because
Or
we're
ever.
just doing that right now.
Right.
No, we talked about it before. It's not ever. It was just not while we're recording.
All right. Enough of that argument.
Fair.
You're a redhead.
Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, Brandon, are you a redhead? I don't think so either. Because all your facial hair.
Does anybody on this podcast can hear what Brandon's saying? We can, but
I think they could probably hear a little bit, but probably not as much as they want to.
hopefully you can hear Brandon from the echo. But
It's long enough, but like we're not done though. Right?
is it long enough?
But we're not done.
Yeah, we've got.
I think that our goal should be like 45 to an hour 30, because that's like the podcast that I listen to.
Right, agreed.
Yeah. So we have like another 45 minutes.
We can go as long as we want, really, and then cut it and segment it if you want to.
100%.
Oh, for future Brandon listening to this, edit that part out.
You don't have to edit that out.
Future Brandon, please edit the part where we're talking about our time.
No, I think that the listeners want to know.
Do the listeners want to know about our...
Because in the podcast that I listen to, they always talk about shit like this. They're like, we're going to edit that part out. And then they don't.
Future Brandon, if
And
you
I
could.
love that.
Fair enough. Anyways.
Okay. What were we talking about? My past lives?
Yes, your past lives and that's the fact that you're a redhead.
Well, okay. So this is like...
I have a story about redheads. Go ahead.
I'd rather hear your story. I don't really want to tell my story right
I'd
now.
love to hear your story. Let's not change the subject.
When I was a little kid, I was laying in bed,
How old?
probably like 4 years old.
Okay.
And I just had like these images flood my brain.
Okay.
And it was just like memories. It wasn't something that like a kid would even know to think about.
What were these memories?
Okay, so I remembered being an adult woman
Okay.
in a big fancy dress, my hair all done up. It was like, you know, like the 1500s or whatever.
Okay.
I was looking in a mirror and just thinking like, this isn't right. And then I was gone.
Huh. You think that was a past life?
Yes,
Why?
because my next memory was of me sitting with a spirit guide. And I cannot tell you what it looked like. It was very cartoonish. It was weird. It was like amorphic. There was a lot of purple involved. I love the color purple, and I think that that's probably has something to do with it.
Okay.
It's like when you're like, have you ever heard people explain like heaven and shit?
Never in my life.
Well, it's just like it's so much more than like you can comprehend as a human person.
Okay.
And I just remember like a lot of like purple and like pink, and it was just like very ethereal. And I was sitting with a spirit guide, and he was just like, "Hey man, where do you want to go next?" And I saw like these snapshots, like film reels kind of
Okay.
of like different lives that I felt like I would fit in. And I remember seeing my mom.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, that feels right. And then I went there, and and it was just like this overwhelming feeling of not having any control and wanting to be similar to as I was, but able to make more choices.
Huh.
And then jump to like 20 years later. I told my friend Erica when I was in college about all of this stuff. She was my best friend. She was my first girlfriend. Not my first like real girlfriend, but we were together for like 2 weeks and we like never kissed. We spooned one time. So she was my first girlfriend for like 2 weeks. But then she was also just like my best friend for like 4 years after that.
Okay.
And one day she sent me a picture. Wait, no, this was before that was technology. I'm sorry, I'm very drunk. I'm thinking of what happened. She sent me a text. It just said, look up in Phantom Margarita. And so I looked up in Phantom Margarita on my laptop. And I looked it up. And like this picture, it was of this child and it was a painting. And I just felt like I was looking into myself. Like, have you ever heard the phrase, the eyes are the windows of the soul?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what happened to me. And then I started looking at more. Where is my cell phone? Because I would love to show you this right now.
We can't show the listeners.
But I would love to show you.
Okay.
Okay. Is that your phone?
This is my phone.
Okay,
yeah.
look up in Phantom Margarita. Oh, you know what? I found my phone.
Oh,
so.
let's let you do it.
Okay. And like I was just looking at these paintings because they didn't have photographs back then. They only had paintings. It was like during the Renaissance.
Right.
And
what was the time era?
I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't. It was like the 1300s or the 1600s, something like that. I really don't know. This is how much I care. I don't know everything about it. But I just know that it makes sense that that was me because when I look at this picture, I see myself. And I remember being this woman, like, you know, with like my hair all done up and I was wearing this fancy dress and I was just like, what the fuck is even going on?
Huh.
This is like, you know, I had no say in anything.
Huh.
And so my friend Erica sent me. That's the wrong person. This must be someone who, like, if I were still that person, this would be like my like great granddaughter. So, like the first thing that came up was Infanta Sophia, and I don't know that person, but it was like modern day pictures. Hang on one second.
Take your time.
Okay.
For the listeners at home, she's looking up a photo. A painting of La Phantom Margarita, which is ironic because we're drinking margaritas.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, I am a funny comic.
This isn't the right picture. It's the right person, but it's not the right picture.
How egotistical
of
me to think that I'm fucking funny. Anyways.
All right. Now, I'm not going to be offended if you don't see the same thing that I saw when I first saw this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, very sickly looking. And, like, not a redhead, but, like, you know, faint and sickly and worrisome.
Look at the eyes.
Yeah, definitely soulless. I definitely see that.
Good job. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There's this other picture, though, where there's more people in it. And, like, there's this one girl specifically. Oh, I showed you the wrong picture. I'm sorry. It's been forever. This is it. This is the right one.
Oh, yeah. I definitely see a resemblance. Also very sickly, meek, and very soulless in the eyes.
I just remember being that child. Is that weird? Am I crazy?
No. And your eyes aren't soulless. You know whose eyes are soulless to me?
No.
People who don't have irises. They're just straight black pupils for eyes.
Are you being racist?
I am not bringing anything up about black people. I'm talking about the eyes.
Well, the fact that you mentioned black people.
Black people, am I right? So fucked up to say.
Oh
I am
my
white,
God.
by the way, if for the listeners at home. I'm Irish, Scottish, German.
This
There's
right
some
here.
Israelite somewhere. Nobody cares.
Like, okay, so that girl right there, my older sister. Like, it just, like, I have those vibes.
Oh, yeah, I could see your older sister in that.
You don't even know her.
Not in the slightest.
See, this is not something that I should just, like, be telling the masses because it makes me sound like a crazy person.
No, I'm just going to make fun of it because that's what I do.
Okay, that's fine. But do you at least, like, believe that it makes sense to me?
I love good stories.
All right.
So, yeah. that
I
makes
don't
perfect
know.
sense.
I don't fucking know anything. I just believe in reincarnation, and I think that this makes sense to what I was feeling because she died in her early 20s from quote unquote weakness from childbirth, and like who the fuck even knows what that means, you know?
Right. Do you want to be more comfortable? Do you want a blanket or anything?
I'm drunk. I don't know. I just kind of was like figuring
No,
it out.
be comfortable. Like feel yourself and go where you need to go.
Okay, I
but
can go over
like,
there.
yeah,
That
just be
sounds-
comfortable.
I think I like this here
Okay.
because there's a huge gap, so I'm gonna put that back there.
There's a huge gap.
Hey, Brandon.
Oh, for the listeners at home that are listening to this very first podcast of Two Idiots Talking, Brandon did come down and do some editing. He hasn't said anything yet, but we can give him the mic if you'd like. If you need a male voice in this podcast, you're misogynistic. And here you go.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be talking, but that's all right. I got this. I was just making sure that there's enough space for a long recording. I should have done that beforehand. I think we're good. It's still going, so
Professional producer, ladies and gentlemen, just so
Yeah.
you know, if you
it's
are
my
interested.
first podcast too. So
Yeah,
hopefully it sounds good.
he's really good at interrupting. And also,
You invited him to interrupt.
Yeah, I actually was just gonna let you two do the talking. But
Wait.
anyway, yeah, no, this is fine.
Is there
I think
anything
it's
you wanna
going
plug?
good, probably.
I hope so. Is there anything
From
you
what
want
I've
to plug
heard.
while you're down here? Any Snapchat, Twitter,
No, I mean,
YouTube?
Check me out
Facebook.
on Instagram, Equip Music. And that's Equip with a W, EQWIP.
How do you spell that again?
TikTok, Instagram, my YouTube channel. It's EQWIP. Anyway, I'm going to give the mic back, and here you are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brandon Eifert, everybody.
Should we keep going?
Fuck, why not?
What next? You go. I talked a lot.
Oh, I have nothing to talk about.
All right, fuck, marry, kill. We're gonna end on that.
Do we want to do Fuck, Marry, Kill, what's written down?
Yes,
All right. I love Fortune's Feemster.
I love all of the three. But
Okay.
we have to make a decision.
All right. So it is Fuck, Marry, Kill. What is written down currently is the game Fuck, Marry, Kill. And
They know that already.
just so you know, you're clear. And what the game is basically asking is we have to decide in our own minds, if you're not aware of what the game is.
Everyone knows.
I know, but I still gotta feel the need.
Some people might not know. I don't mean to be patronizing.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck me.
Anyways, you're not on here though. So
Good point.
the game is Fuck, Marry, Kill. So it's like a would you rather. Would you rather fuck, marry, and kill these three people? And because there's a lesbian on this podcast and someone who the lesbian thinks is a lesbian, we're going to go with women. So it's Fuck, Marry, Kill. And then the women are notorious lesbians. Ellen DeGeneres, which has a talk show on daytime television. Tig Notaro, which is a very famous comedian. And Fortune Feaster.
Feemster.
Feemster.
Who is
Fortune
also a
Feemster.
lesbian comedian who I think Brandon probably knows better than you because you can't even say their name.
I love Fortune Feemster. She's an underrated comedian. Like Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro.
I'm also drunk. Tig Notaro is a very famous lesbian comedian, and Fortune Feemster is very underrated, in my opinion.
And also, Ellen DeGeneres is the most famous lesbian comedian. So if
She
you
was
don't
on
know her,
Time
like,
magazine
fuck off while you're even
saying
listening
she
to
was
this.
gay. All right, so Fuck, marry, kill these famous lesbians. Go.
My turn?
Your turn.
Oh my god. I really don't want to kill any of these people. But
That's very nice of you.
that's nice of me. I'm not that terrible of a person. If I had to, because I think she's had her time, Ellen DeGeneres, I would have to kill.
Oh my god.
She's had her run.
All right.
She's had her run.
She's a pioneer that needs to be taken out.
So I love Fortune Feimster. I think she's so funny.
She is.
This is really hard for me to say because like having to choose between these, I don't know, just choosing between these two is so hard. You know what? I changed my mind. No, I have to go back. This is so hard. Brandon, what did you do to me? Okay, I have to marry Tig Notaro and I have to fuck Fortune Feimster because I love Tig Notaro more than anyone in the entire world. That's it. But I'll fuck Fortune Feimster because she's funny.
Shout out to Tig Notaro if you're looking to be married to a lesbian that looks just like you.
Thank you. You're also the reason I'm a comedian, so thank you for that.
She's single and ready to mingle.
I'm not single.
She's not single, but she's ready to mingle.
Okay. With you, with Tig Notaro specifically, even though you're married and I don't want to get in the way of that. But like, just putting it out there, just as a thing. But like, not really though.
Right. Just shouting it out to the universe. And
exactly.
And the audience. Fuck, marry, kill me for Ellen, Tig, and Fortune. I love Fortune. I think she's hilarious, and I feel like she is a beautiful spirit, so I would marry Fortune.
That's very nice.
I would say Ellen DeGeneres. I don't think I could fuck Ellen DeGeneres.
So what are you going to do to her?
Rape isn't an option here, and I wouldn't do it anyways.
That's not the point. They don't have to be willing. They're not involved in this process.
I don't think I would fuck Ellen DeGeneres, and I don't think I would marry Ellen DeGeneres because I feel like that's a lot of maintenance.
So you have to kill her.
I think I would have to kill her.
I'm sorry, Ellen. We love you.
Speak for yourself.
You paved the way.
You did pave the way, and I think you're hilarious.
Speak for myself. Can you speak to that?
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't speak for me if I didn't say, like, have I ever told you the dream that I had once? So I work at a boat company.
Okay.
I work in a boat factory,
yes.
And it's terrible, and it would give me nightmares sometimes. And I had a nightmare once where, like, I had to build a boat on Ellen DeGeneres' day talk time show, which is called Ellen.
Yeah.
And and she was going to go live. She just needed this boat to start for us to go live. And I couldn't finish building the boat. And so, like, what ended up happening is it didn't be finished in time for the live broadcast. And she was just cussing me out on live television in front of, like, millions of people at this point, thousands of people.
You know she would, right?
I know she would. And she'd tell me not to stare at her in the eyes while she was cussing me out.
If she had to, that would happen.
So, like...
And I would do that to you as well.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So that's why I would kill Ellen DeGeneres off. And I would sleep with, because I don't like the word fuck. I would sleep with. I do love the word fuck, just not in the terms of making love.
Okay, sure.
I would sleep with Tig Notaro. We would just do some cuddling, and if she wanted to go further, we can go further. But I would marry Fortune.
That sounds like Tig to me. I don't think that she's that interested in fucking, to be honest, because she reminds me of myself, and I'm not that interested in fucking. It has to be like the exact right situation. So I agree with what you said.
All right, fair enough. So that's how I stand.
But you would marry Fortune Feimster.
I would marry Fortune.
You guys would make such a cute couple.
Oh, would we?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure she's already married.
I think they're all married.
That's true.
So none of them are available. Ellen, you're dead. Tig, your kids.
Ellen's not actually dead.
In
She's
our fictitious.
We had to kill her.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's unfortunate.
We had to throw you off the boat that you wanted me to build in my dream.
But I just have to make the point that, like, she really did. Even if she is, or if people think that she's a terrible person, she really did make it possible for us to be where we are right now.
Mr. Brandon, why did you have to use famous lesbian stand-ups in our podcast?
I thought it'd be harder that way, more fun,
It was really hard.
It wasn't that hard.
Who did I marry?
Tig, of course.
Okay, and I fucked Fortune. Why did I fuck Fortune Feimster?
Because you love Tig so much.
I do. I can never let go of Tig.
Right.
But Fortune Feimster, I really don't know that well. But I think she's great. I just don't know her like that.
She just has a positive aura about her.
She really does.
Yeah.
She was on Tig Notaro's podcast.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Maybe she wasn't. I know for sure she was on Pants. Yeah, you've seen the L Word, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm not a lesbian, so fuck
sure.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure. No, the last time I heard Fortune Feimster, she was on Pants. She might have also been on Tig's podcast, though. That's very Googleable for anyone who wants to know.
Very good to know.
I'm so drunk.
Can I do my fuck, marry, kill?
Do you have a different one?
I do have a different one.
Sure.
All right, serial killer edition.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, fuck, marry, kill. Elizabeth Bathory.
Who?
The lady that killed many women and drained their blood for her youth and bathed in her blood. Elizabeth Bathory.
Like way back in like the 1300s or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
That's the right name I'm thinking of, right?
She did like a lot of torture and shit. Like she had slaves.
Yeah, and she killed them.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Eileen Wuornos.
Are these all going to be women?
They are going to be women.
Okay. You have to explain each one of them to me then, because I don't know.
You don't know women serial killers?
I know male serial killers.
There's
We're
not-
going to have to end on male serial killer. Well, maybe we'll do that next time.
I was trying to be nice because
We
you're
need
a lesbian.
You know what? We always need to end on fuck, marry, kill. I think that's where this is going.
I'd like to play some game at the end of every podcast.
Okay, sure. But next podcast, I'm going to do fuck, marry, kill male
Edition.
serial killers
All right.
and male comedians.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'll be a good time.
We should do that one instead of my female serial killer one.
Well, let's still do this because we're doing it right now. That should be our thing.
All right.
Comedians and then serial killers.
All right.
Female and then male
Okay.
each time. Or well, I guess
There's only
there-
so many serial killers.
there's only so many.
There's tons of stand-up.
We'll figure it out. We might have to find a different game eventually. Anyway, who's Eileen
Wuornos.
Wuornos?
So she's a very famous prostitute in Florida back in the 80s, I
Okay.
believe. Do you know the movie Monster with Charlize Theron? It's based off that story.
Yeah, and Christina Ricci.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she killed a bunch of men
Because she was mad about like being a prostitute and she thought the men were terrible.
and they thought she thought in her testimony during the trial, she said that she only killed them because she was afraid that they were going to rape her.
Oh.
All
Even
the-
though she was wasn't she a prostitute?
yes.
That's confusing.
That's probably why she ended up being in the death penalty.
Can I just say something right now?
Sure.
This is going to be so offensive. I feel like that could totally be you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
I'm glad that doesn't offend you.
It's really offensive, but I'll deal with it.
It is so offensive.
So fuck, marry, kill. Kill Stacey Stark. So,
My mom already tried it. It didn't work, so sorry. I have more things I need to do here. You're not going to succeed.
fair enough. Eileen Wuornos, Elizabeth Bathory,
Okay.
and Ed Kemper's mom. Not a serial killer, just very famous in his victimhood. You know who Ed Kemper is?
No.
You don't know who Ed Kemper is?
I know different serial killers than you, apparently.
I know a lot of serial killers.
Okay.
So my mom lived on the same street as John Wayne Gacy.
Really?
Really?
Where?
In Des Plaines, Illinois.
Okay.
So
I'm with you now.
and she was alive when he had to go to trial and everything else.
That's so crazy.
Isn't it?
Did she, so she knew him?
She was like 2 when it happened.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought that was just really interesting.
Yeah.
There's nothing about me that's like not interesting. I'm an amazing person.
I already knew that.
Thank you.
That's why I'm doing a podcast with you. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So Ed Kemper, by the way. Sorry about the tangent. Ed Kemper.
No apologies accepted.
All right. Ed Kemper was a gentleman that would stalk women around colleges, rape them, and kill them.
Oh, so kind of like Ted Bundy.
Yes.
Okay.
But he ended his killings with his mom. This is about to be graphic.
Okay.
Trigger warning, and just warning for anybody who's listening with kids in the room. I'm about to say some really graphic stuff.
Okay.
Ed Kemper had a resentment against his mom, and he would take it out on these teenage college-age girls.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended his killings with his mom. He slit her throat, decapitated her, and throat fucked her dead head.
Anything else?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe made her talk, like made puppets. I don't know. I didn't ask.
Maybe. You don't know for sure.
Right. After just, you know.
Okay, so wait, I'm confused. So he slit her throat and then he decapitated her? He didn't do the two at the same time?
I wasn't there. I don't know the details. But I do know he throat fucked her. Like,
okay. Well,
like the bloody part.
I'm happy no one throat fucked me while I was a baby.
Well, I mean, there's some issues with that. I don't know.
My mom slit my throat. That's the connection.
I got the connection. I'm just thinking like, what could, you know what I mean? It's just gross. Anyways.
It is. I'm happy that didn't happen, though. I'm sure that didn't happen because that wouldn't make sense for the scenario.
Right. Like, hey, well, now that this situation is unfolded, why don't I take advantage? Well, yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
She doesn't even have a penis.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. She could hide drugs up there, I suppose.
The attempted murder was not sexually motivated.
For most female violent crimes, it's usually not sexually motivated.
That's so unfortunate.
You think it should be?
I don't know. I guess I have weird views on sex. I feel like it's just like the end all be all. It's like once you do it, it's done.
Really?
Isn't that fucked up?
I don't know how to take that.
I don't know either.
Anyways, fuck, marry, kill. Elizabeth Bathory.
Okay.
Eileen Wuornos. Ed Kemper's mom.
To be continued. This was the Where's My Hat podcast.